Hey guys, welcome to the channel. Today I want to do a little bit of chalkboard science on why you don't look like bodybuilders, influencers, guys like Jeff Nippard, Athlean-X, and any of those other guys that you see on there, and you're wondering, hey, why am I getting stronger, but I'm not quite looking like them? And it has a lot to do with weight. And so that's the reason why we're doing chalkboard science here today. So let's use Jeff Nippard as an example here. So say we got Jeff, let's say Jeff N. And Jeff's stats, just going off of height and weight, is he's roughly about 64 inches here. And then looking at my notes here, it's got him about 158 pounds. So we're looking here, Jeff's not necessarily a tall guy. The average height, I'm over here in the United States, is roughly about, it's about 5'9", so that's going to be about 69 inches here. So as we can already see that there's about a plus 5-inch height difference between Jeff here and the average height male in the United States. So that right there is where the problem is that we see a lot of guys on social media, and I've seen on YouTube channels some actually really good channels, and they've done like the PPL from Jeff, and they've gotten gains in terms of like strength gains, but they don't really get that body composition that Jeff has. And you may be more of a power lifter and not necessarily looking for those gains, but I guess the overall physique kind of shows, hey, you know what, I do look like I lift, versus the guy that kind of looks like he's never been to the gym but can go ahead and deadlift 700 pounds or bench press 315 pounds. So if you're going more for the aesthetics, stay tuned. We'll break it down here real quick. I won't waste too much of your time. So what we want to look at is pounds per inch. So we just take this number right here, and so we have 158, and we'll bring that over 64 inches for Jeff here. And that's going to be roughly about 2.47 in 2.47. So that becomes pounds per inch is what I was trying to say here. Pounds per inch. So as we see that here, we have to make up for the height. So if you have the average person in the United States, which is USA, forgot to put that here. Now we're looking at plus 5, right? So one thing is you can't just look at plus 5 and go from there, because also height and arm span are the same thing. So it's actually a 1-to-1 ratio of height, let's spell this right, versus wingspan. Wingspan here. So what we have to look at, and I know it's getting a little messy here, but we'll kind of bring this all the way down here, is so the average person is 69 inches in USA, and Jeff's about 64 inches. So what we want to do is we know that height and wingspan is a 1-to-1 ratio. So if there is a plus 5 difference here, so let's put plus 5 here, there is a plus 5 difference here as well under the wingspan. So now we're looking at a total difference of 10 inches. So now all we're going to do is take these 10 inches and we're going to multiply those by 2.47, which is how many inches per or pounds per inch that Jeff is. So now that gives us an easy number of doing roughly about 24.7 pounds here. So 24.7 pounds, that would be roughly, just on paper here in a quick what we call chalkboard science now, is 24.7 pounds for you to have that same physical aesthetics that Jeff has. There's certain variables here. The variables we can look at here are, we can put proportions, right? So if you have, you cut these things in half, and let's say you have a 70% up here and 30% here, you're not going to look the same, right? So depending on how proportionate your body is, this number is going to change, and you may not have the big calves that Jeff has, or you may not have quite the shoulders or the chest or the back that Jeff has, just depending on what your ratio is. And you may have a bigger one, just depending, if you're, and you reverse it, right? Let's just go here and put 30 here, and just to say you're bottom heavy, 70, massive legs. Let's see, we'll put upper, and then we'll put lower here, or just put legs. Right, so it just depends on what the ratio is. So again, the main thing is looking at weight. Now we have it all the way down here. is you need to put on the pounds if you want the gains, plain and simple. If you want to go for the aesthetics. As far as the strength goes, etc., and Jeff and everybody's got plenty of videos on there that you can watch, all about the science, hardcore science from all these different studies, etc. But when it comes down to it, it's really all about the weight. So if I were you, I would look at bulking if you're trying to get that same aesthetics that Jeff and everybody else has. Of course, you can use this as a calculation. Again, always look at your variables here in terms of proportion. Maybe water retention could be another one. Again, guys, that's simple chalkboard science there for you. Hope that helps. See you in the next episode.